Welcome, my friends, to YouTooSpain Live. It's the Christmas show. Yay! You'd never have guessed if I haven't told you. So, today on this, the last show of 2024, because I need a holiday like a turkey needs an escape route, our best mate Chris from Upsticks and I are going to be chatting about the big changes of this year and what to look forward to in 2025. And also we'll have a little look at how Spanish people celebrate the festive season compared to the Brits and you and other Northern Europeans. We'll also answer any of your questions about anything Christmassy, preferably. Send us a festive message on the live chat, or if you're watching the video back afterwards, do it in the comments below and we'll all enjoy it because you are a part of this too. That's what this channel is all about. And you're always welcome to YouTooSpain. Run the theme music and let's do a Christmas dance. Oh yeah, that's groovy. And speaking of groovy, these are going to get really annoying, aren't they, in the microphone? Just tell me in the chat if they're getting annoying, and I'll take them off and just carry on with the hat. So, speaking of groovy, let's meet my regular fortnightly expert guest for the last time in 2024. He's my best mate and yours. It's Chris from Upsticks. Morning, matey.
Morning, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad, considering the year it's been. And you sound like you've got a really bad cold there as well.
Yeah, a few bits and bobs, a bit of nose and throat cold, but we're all good.
Yeah, good stuff. So apologies, anybody, if we're coughing and sneezing throughout all of this. I've got a bit of it as well. And Liz is the same in the house, but can't hear her from here, so that'll be all right. And how's the bionic arm going?
Yes, it's good. So we've got up to this is the bionic one.
Yeah,
that's to there now.
Nice.
And the old physio's going well. It's now just down to once a week because it's not. So they do twice a week to get it moving again. But now the heavy work starts, so it's just once a week because you need a week to recovery afterwards.
Of course, yeah. Okay, let's say hello to everybody on the live chat. We've got a few people saying hello already. And Jeanette Harding-Wilson, she was there long before the show started. I'd like to wish Skatz and Chris and family a Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year. Roger Burke, Merry Christmas to you both. And Robbo is there. Morning all from a beautiful and Punta Prima in Torrevieja. That is with us. That's what I've called my stoma bag, Bert. There. No, it's not after you though. Bengal. He says, hola all, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you and your teams. Lovely. And Ezra P is on there. He says, Merry Christmas, Rudolph. Yes. Oh no, there it goes. It's falling off already. Now there. We'll get rid of it. Anton Kez say, hola todos. And you've got their Christmas present behind you. I can see it there on the table.
I have here.
Vino Italiano. Thank you so much for that. We both got one of them in the post. That's so very kind of you.
Christmas Day bottle sorted.
From our biggest fan. And Paul Cook says, good morning, Skatz and Chris. Hope you both family and friends have a great Christmas. I'll be back in Spain next Friday for 2 weeks. Oh, that's lovely. And to Kez say, Feliz Navidad a Skatz, Liz, Oscar, Chris, Lara, Raul, Ela y todos. That's the whole family. There we go. 'Tis the season to be bunged up. Tra-la-la-la-la, he says. John Carrington says, hi, guys. Steve Moffat says, morning all. Brilliant. Is that the Stephen Moffat who wrote Doctor Who and Coupling and all of those, and Sherlock? Can't be. You'd call yourself Stephen, wouldn't you? Unless you're just hiding in the background there. So, what have we got on the show today? I'll tell you what. It's feature time. Let's have the let's have the jingle. We haven't done these. That goes like this. It's the main feature of the show. The topics in the title. There you go. I do love that one. It's very camp, isn't it? So, what we're going to do first is have a look back at the big changes of 2024 before we have a look forward into 2025. So, starting with 2024, what the dickens was going on there? See what I did there?
it's been our first full year of the BLS office, hasn't it? So basically, it started in 2023, but it was all a bit of a jumpy start, really, to be honest. But this is our first full year, and we have to say that it's been really good. The only problem we have is their booking system is a little bit complicated for people who are trying to get NLVs, and everybody gets thrown in the same pot as they normally do with the consulates for pitch students and stuff. But through the whole year, you've virtually been able to get an appointment the very next day. And we've had the opposite problem to what we've had in previous years, where we can now not book for January yet.
Oh.
Because there's so many appointments this year. So everybody's now ready to go, but they want to go after Christmas, and they haven't opened the appointments yet because there's always so many.
Oh dear. So there's going to be is there going to be a big backlog when that happens?
No, because there's just so many appointments available now. Whereas over the past years, we've just, there's always been that fear of documents actually running out because you can't get hold of appointments when you start. Now that just the problem, which it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Very, very good. Very positive for moving into 2025 with a BLS. Yeah.
I mean, they started off a little bit ropey, but they very quickly got better, I think, didn't they?
They did.
Are there more appointments now than there used to be in the consulates?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, we're still now, I mean, we'll review it in 2025, but we're still now sending people with things like passport photos, where in theory, you don't actually have to go with a passport photo because they take a digital one there.
Mm-hmm.
But right at the beginning of the year, it's been about 6 months now since their system hasn't been working because it was a bit shaky at the beginning, and then they're sending people out to run and get passport photos if their system wasn't working. So we say belts and braces, take one with you anyway, and we'll probably continue that, but in theory you don't need to. Then they started taking payment on their booking system to confirm appointments where that wasn't the case at the beginning. But yeah, it's if you were to look back at these shows we were doing 4 years ago, where it was just, I was flying over and doing live shows with you outside the consulate, saying what on earth's going on, nobody can get an appointment, and trying to find out, bustle my way through the door. I mean, if you said 4 years later there's an online booking system and you could get an appointment the next day, we wouldn't have believed you then, would we? No,
absolutely not. Yeah. That was, and there was, we went through the whole strikes as well, didn't we? The staff went on strike.
Yeah. So that was it. Yeah, did that. We did London and Manchester, didn't we? I think. Where, and I came very close to flying back. If I hadn't done my arm, I'd have flown back to Manchester this summer because some of the visas were taken over the 12-week period, working out what was going on.
Yeah.
Then miraculously, when the new law was approved to go live next year, suddenly the visas all came in. So I think they may have been waiting for that.
Brilliant. So what else changed in 2024 or got better?
Well, we had your video. Do you remember the video on the S1 that you did, where basically now the S1s, you can still use the healthcare at home? There was always a question in the UK, as well as registering it in Spain. And that process seems to be getting a bit easier because in an emergency situation, we have managed to try and push the S1 through before people have got appointments. We've got a couple trying now. Actually, we're trying to get through to register for the healthcare before we've got the fingerprint appointments because we can't get the appointments at the moment. And on a couple of occasions, they've actually approved it and people have needed the healthcare. So the social security seems to be improving. They were taken up to 3 months, which left people with this gap, and they're getting better as well. And then the other big news from this year would be how the appointment systems are now seriously moving on to a digital verification platform, which can be a pain. So when you're booking any appointment for the to go to the to register your fingerprint, the extranjería or the comisaría, as they call them as well, to register your visa or get an NIE or something like that, they introduced an option at the bottom which said with digital certificate and without digital certificate. Now, what they're doing is there's a couple of places where you can only get appointments now with digital certificate. That's Almeria. Or Clavi Pin, you use it on your mobile. Granada, more or less, is going that way. The more popular areas like Alicante, Malaga, not so much, but we suspect in 2025 they'll all move on to the digital platform.
Oh, we're having a bit of trouble with the sound at the moment. You're cutting out a bit.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, yeah, that's a bit better.
Yeah. that we suspect they'll all move on to that over the next year or so.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. Is that going to be a problem for people? Do you need to live in Spain to have a clave or the digital certificate?
If you're trying to book an appointment outside of Spain, it could be a problem for when you get here. Yeah. Yeah.
So what can people do to sort that
out? Contract us and we'll do it for you.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what's happening to this. Have you got any programs running in the background or anything? Sometimes that affects the feed. I'll make sure I've turned all mine off as well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean I can hear you. It's just it was a little bit. It was jumpy and occasionally it stopped. We don't want that to happen all the way through the show.
No, that's. I've turned everything off that I had on.
Yeah, good. Let's.
Oh.
Bum bum bum. Is that notifications?
There we go.
There you go. That tends to. Yeah, you'll find that out because you've now got the same system as I've got, haven't you? That you're going to start using in your own broadcasts. So
yeah, I got it on Black Friday. It reminded me actually. It came up. I must have looked at it last year. This system, and then Black Friday came in and gave me an offer. I was like, oh, go on in.
Aha. Perfect. Oh, Steve Moffat says, to be frank, I can see and hear Chris fine. Good. Oh, it must be just me then. There we go. Oh, and Yogi is on there. Good morning, chaps. He says, good to see you both. And further down, he says, Merry Christmas to you and your families. Hope you both have a wonderful new year as well. Hope it's a prosperous and happy one. And he goes and makes it a prosperous one by giving a donation. Thank you so much, Yogi. And Robo says, wishing you two boys and your families a Feliz Navidad y Año Nuevo. I can never thank Chris enough for everything Upsticks has done in achieving our dream. We are 4 months into our NLV living the dream hashtag. So
Robo owes me a short, just saying. So I did a short the other day, but he's got to do me a short for the petrol in Alicante on his channel, just saying.
Brilliant. I'll look forward to that. Yogi says he's in the gym. Just imagine him. How are you managing to do all of the messaging on you while you're on a running machine or something, lifting weights? How do you manage to do that? You're a miracle worker. Adam Kerr says 3 cheers to Chris and Skatz for all your help for one and all. Hand pink waving. The emojis don't seem to work on your feeds there. Yogi says he can hear you loud and clear. That's good. Must be Skatz, Yogi says. Everyone remember to smash the like button. Yes, good plan, Yogi. Everybody smash that like button. Support the channel. And it says 23 watching, 8 thumbs up. Let's all give a thumbs up. Yogi says he's lifting weights, obviously with one hand, typing with the other hand. So there we go. So anything else from 2024? What's happened? I
think that was about all it that I had on my list. We said the Social Security thing, the appointments, the BLS. I mean, the consulates have been their usual irregular selves in issuing visas. It's been, it could be 14 days or 14 weeks. It just is what it is with them, Has
that changed over towards Christmas?
I tell you, it was quite strange. So this year compared to last year, we had quite a good run in summer. Summer was good, and then we had the usual. Nothing came, but we had the appointments still were all through summer were available. That was fine. But the usual visas weren't being released, from August onwards, really. We had a couple in August. That was it until September. Then we had this big rush come through in September. And then in October, it just stopped.
Oh, yeah.
And it just stopped until mid-November. And then suddenly, so I don't know why that happened. But yeah, I mean, generally, they've been good. There was the Manchester, for example, they introduced this extra explanation for people who've got a no live trace on the acro, and they started off quite wobbly with that. They sent a few emails out which were very undescriptive, didn't really tell people what they wanted, and then they sort of improved their template. So
the acro, that's another thing that changed.
Oh, sorry, yes, that was the acro. The acro went from being 3-month validity to 6 months. So now that's the criminal records are now valid for 6 months, which is great, because that gives people more time, and it's also quite nice when you're speaking to people and you're chomping at the bit to get the paperwork ready, but you're looking at this 12-week validity for the paperwork. It's something you can do before. It takes 30 days to get. So it's like, if you're moving over, it's mentally, it's good for you to know at least you've got that one bit of paper that you're going to need for it. It's quite nice to have that.
It's a shame there's not one or two more things that give a little bit longer to do, and you can get these things lined up. And getting your ducks in a row will be a slightly longer process.
Yeah, it is, because it's everything from the timescales of the documents to when people are moving over and they're looking for rentals and stuff like that. They might be looking for rentals 6 months beforehand. And most estate agents are like, "Are you here now with money?" They're like, "No, well, don't talk to me." Because the rental market is just so, like that at the moment. So, yeah, at least that's one thing you can get on the way.
Brilliant. Paul Cook asks, Robbo says, "I put up a short yesterday, Chris. You're clearly not following me."
Sorry, Robbo. I actually haven't looked at my news. I looked quickly this morning, so I'm gonna look at that now. I'll look at that now.
Anton Kesse, good luck with the next live, Chris. Paul Cook says, "As a non-resident, can I get digital certificate or clave? Already own a house, car in Spain, and paying non-resident tax."
You can with your NIE number. If you've got an NIE certificate, you can, believe it or not.
You can.
Yep.
Brilliant. So you don't have to live here at all.
You can have a digital certificate as long as you've got an NIE.
Great. That's good.
But one thing, just for that, there is a but. Comes with a but.
Yeah.
If you do your digital, as a there is various ways of getting digital certificates. One of them is as a representative. So Cama Firma is one way of getting it, which we do that quite often for our clients, so they can independently hold their own one. But when you get your digital certificate, you have to go to a town hall or somewhere to verify who you are, right? And there's no problem being a non-resident, and as long as you've got an NIE number and having a digital certificate. But when you go to the town hall, they'll go, "Where's your residency card to verify who you are?" You're like, no, I've got my NIE number and I've got my passport. Passport shows who I am. This verifies my NIE number. Shouldn't be a problem. But a lot of the funcionarios create the problem by saying computer says no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding the place where we've had a problem with town halls and stuff like that before, where I've gone, no, you're wrong. You're so wrong. But yeah, and clave obviously is different. That's with Hacienda, and they never really give you a problem. You can actually go in there to get your PIN if you don't work it out online, and they'll let you do it there and then.
Brilliant. Let's see. Yeah, thanks for that question, Paul. You were saying, would it help in advance of getting the NLV in a couple of years' time?
You know what? Yes. Well, no, because yes, in the way that it makes things a lot easier for you. So, you can, and it also means that you can do things like, if you have got a digital certificate and you're a non-resident, but you've got in a property, you'll have an account with Hacienda, and you can go in there and not mess about with it. I wouldn't suggest you change anything. You can go and have a look at it using a digital certificate, get used to using stuff, looking at the appointments. It's a good thing. It's a good tool to have,
Mm-hmm. And also, if you get with your Spanish car, if you get a ticket for speeding or something while you're there, you get a notification through early, and you can pay the half amount. So and you can access your the Trafico site from there. So. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, get set up your old SMS. Thank goodness for that. I've had a couple of those, unfortunately, this year. SMS. When you get that dreaded SMS from the DGT, it says you have a notification. You're like, oh, they're not wishing me happy birthday, are they?
No, they're not. No.
That's the speeding fun.
Yes. Sean from Expat in Macedon is there saying, "Good morning, Skatz and Chris. Loving the hats." face purple crying is his emoji. And Anton Kes says, Skatz, nearly 10,000 subscribers. Let's get up to 10,000. Yeah, that was my aim at the start of the year. Chris and I both set a target for number of subscribers, but something came up. I think I got ill for some reason. I can't remember it now. It's all in the past. What was your target, Chris? Was it like 3?
I was hoping to hit 3, 5, or 4. Really, I haven't hit 4 yet. I was happy when I hit 3, 5 before the end of the year. So I thought, oh, this might go to 4 because I had quite a good video which got me 300. But it's slowed down now. But yeah, I would love 4, but I'm happy with 3, 5 for the end of the year.
Yeah, good. Well, I think I remember that was the original target. So
I think that was the original.
So well done.
Target.
Yeah, that says Chris, nearly 4,000. Let's get Chris up to 4. Yes, yeah, everybody. If you've not subscribed yet, let's have a big boost and try and get you up to that target. And everybody, if you've got any friends, I'm sure you've all got friends. That's a silly thing to say, but spread the word as well, and share the videos so that more people can see them. It's getting more and more difficult to share the show and any videos I make on Facebook groups. And it's not because the Facebook groups don't want me to be on there. They've all accepted, and the ones I'm sharing to, they all say, yeah, you can share that on here because it's helpful to the people in our group. But it's Facebook that's put even more, supposedly for safety and supposedly to stop people advertising so much on Facebook groups.
Really?
But yeah. So they get taken down again by Facebook, even though there was a message before when I put it up saying yes, your video has been accepted. So yeah, what can you do? So I don't share to anywhere near the number of Facebook groups that I used to. But so encourage people to join my Facebook group, the YouTooSpain Facebook community. That would be good, because then that's all I need to do is share the shows on that, and that will get people watching anyway. So there you go. That's the hassles of running a YouTube channel. Mike Fisk is with us. Chris, Skatz, season's greetings to you both. Thanks for all your great work this year. A big help to all of us. Cheers, from Mike.
I met Mike in Marbella, and I was with Jeanette, who was on the chat this week. So that was good. And yeah, it was nice. And obviously we've seen Anton Kes as well this year, so it's nice. We've managed to actually this year get out and see people a bit more. It's been nice.
Yeah, it is. And it's good to have you on the live chat, all the people that have met us before. Oh, Bobby Craney says it obviously weren't here earlier on when we talked about the bottle. Says, is that bottle behind Chris's cold remedy or pain relief for the bionic arm? It's a bit of both. It was a present from Anton Kes. It's there it is. Italian wine. What is it? What's the name? Tempranillo something? I can't remember. Yeah.
It says Reserva, which I'm sure is Reserva in Spanish, so it's the equivalent to a reserve.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm sure it'll be brilliant. Barry Scanlon says, Merry Christmas both. My first time live. Oh, thanks, Barry. That's another Barry we've got. We've not had Barry from Unitech. He's not arrived yet, although he does have a tendency to arrive late and with a note from his mum.
I've still got a bottle for Barry from Unitech here in the office.
Oh yeah, he's not. Didn't he win the
meal?
The prize for a meal.
I've still got a bottle and a meal. It's still here. We haven't drank it.
We've not done either of the 2 meals that we gave away in the last 2 years yet.
It's going to be party.
Yeah. We'll just have a party at the end. Season of goodwill bar Facebook for Skatz. Sant says, we'll be back down again next year. Hasta pronto. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. It's always lovely when you visit. We'll do something special again. So tell you what, let's move on to 2025. I tell you what, in this household, we're really looking forward to not just to 2025, but to the end of 2024. Liz doesn't normally stay up for to see in the new year for the Hogmanay and to see the ball drop or whatever it's called. That's the New York version. But she's saying this year I might actually stop up so I can just down a large drink and say goodbye to 2024, because it's not been a good one.
No, it's been one hell of a year for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'd rather not have another one of them, but it does mean that 2025 is going to be better in every way. I'm sure I'm going to be gigging again at some point when I get my strength back. And also I want to be getting out and about a lot more with this channel and with Still Alive as well. If I can sort myself out and get myself one of those really good handheld cameras like Ciaran from Expat in Masaron's got, that fit in your pocket, and you don't have to fit the phone out of its case and put it on and get the thing, the one that you've got as well, Chris. Sometimes it all goes wobbly and drops, and you've got to operate loads and loads of buttons, whereas this other one that I've got my eye on is much easier. Out the pocket, turn it on, and the camera's all built in. You don't have to you don't have to take your phone out and muck about with it and load up a program.
Yeah, the gimbal can be a real pain with a phone. It's I think an individual camera, and they're better quality as well, aren't they? I think you can record 8K or 4K, whereas your phone, it doesn't matter how good the thing is, someone will always phone you halfway through a video and make interruptions.
Yeah. I had that as a problem, and it would when it was uploading itself onto your phone from the program, from the app, it would stop the film and it would make it all jerky, which is madness. And Yogi says, absolutely, yes, that is the good thing, and that's why I started Still Alive, to say there you go. And Yogi's talking to Ciaran. How you doing, bud? Oh, Brian in Brisbane. It's a new person on here. He's saying, hi, do you guys have NLV experience with people such as me? Oh, here we go. Let's put this one up on the screen. Australia with indefinite leave to remain. My wife is dual Brit Aussie. Thanks. We've watched you guys for a while. So presumably neither of you has got an EU passport. Your wife not, because she's got Brit and Aussie. So yes, is the answer to that. Chris is the expert. I
do. We had some experience this year. So book a call in. We can chat about it, because we had exactly the same circumstance this year. So I'm more than happy to let you know our experience and how to move forward.
Brilliant. And it's upsticks.es.
Yep.
And you can make a booking on there. There we go. Sean says, maybe the wife will buy you a DJI Pocket 3 4K camera. It is indeed, yes. And maybe the DJI will send me one after putting this advert up on the screen. You never know. I think I need to have more subscribers before that happens. You never know. They might knock some money off if I do a box opening on the show or something like that.
Well, some of the when I bought my 360 camera, some of the channels that you watch, which give you the instructions, have only got I've got 10 to 15,000 subs, and they were sponsored channels, so you could get a discount link, and they also state that they get paid a little bit of money from if you buy through them. Might be something worth looking at. Yeah.
I'll be on the phone straight after the show.
Yeah.
And Anton says, now we're both EU, able to roam again as before that B word. Yes.
Well, that was the Italian wine, wasn't it?
Yes, of course. That's why Italian wine, of course, because Kez has now got Italian citizenship. Congratulations for that. And Ant, is yours is French, presumably, because you're in France. Brian in Brisbane says, great, thank you, Chris. You can expect a call early 2025. Yes, you do need to book it in the on the website.
Yeah, it's best we do book calls, because it means it gives me half an hour to speak to people. Nice. I get myself ready for the call. We can write decent notes, and which can be frustrating because it means that sometimes I book calls work in a month's time. But it's generally me or Jane who take books call. We like to have quality time.
Yes, brilliant. So yeah, get on that website, book it now, and it'll be for sometime in January, presumably. Good, good. So 2025, yes, we know the main thing we're looking forward to, and that is running through the new laws, the new residency laws, because there's quite a few of them. How many pages is that document?
174, I think it is. And I mean, this is, and you've got to remember that this is the raw document. Yeah. So this is the law, the BOE, the raw. So this is because, and then after this, there'll also be things called instrucciones, which will be from the individual extranjerías, which will say, this is how you interpret this. You know, so for example, in the part that it says, you know, they're quite descriptive in the
laws, yeah.
For the NLV, there'll be more and more interpretations come out of different parts of the law. So apart from, we've got quite a lot to talk about with the NLV, the renewals, the complete overhaul of Spanish family members, which is allowing more people, if you've got a distant Spanish relative, to come in, which is quite exciting. There's also other residency platforms, which I plan to sit down with a glass of Malaga sweet wine and have a look through, you know, for the future, how they could work for people, you know, as well. So I think it's quite an exciting time from May the 20th onwards.
Yeah, so May the 20th is when the laws that they published on the bulletin actually come into force. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, and that's when they're coming into force on that day now, and then obviously from there we're going to learn, as we have done with various places, there in the interpretation of different areas of how they apply the laws. But you know, it is that going into the next year is a very positive thing. It was designed to simplify things, and it's I believe it's very positive.
And you've already talked about the renewals, because they originally proposed that they were going to do a 4-year renewal after year one, but by the time the law was published, they've gone back to 2.
Yeah, they were never going to do 4 years, but I wouldn't put my hat in the ring before the law came out and say that, because if they did, you'd look stupid. But you know, if you and you really shouldn't comment on a draft law until it's in text anyway. It's ridiculous. It's we could never see how it was going to be a 4-year renewal, partly because there'd be no control over those 4 years. So if it would really hurt people who had to produce the savings for those 4 years, but after that there'd be no 2-year gap to check with people if they've been doing, you know, if they've got any tax problems, if they've been working on the social security, if they've still got the money, you know, if there's been a criminal record, for example, which is behind the scenes. When you submit a renewal application, our part, on behalf of the client, we submit the requirements, but then they do their own checks. You know, they check with Hacienda, they check with Social Security, they check with the criminal records in Spain. So I couldn't see them doing it once and then leaving it for 4 years.
Fair enough. Yes. So, is there anything else apart from these new laws, which is massive? Actually, I was going to ask you, how much have you read so far?
Oh, all of the NLV I've read, and I've been looking at the Spanish family members law, which is what they call arraigo. Now they've completely changed, and I've been looking through that because I think that's really, you wouldn't believe the amount of people who have actually got that sort of tentative link to Spain. And then apart from that, the arraigo social, which could help people who may find themselves in an irregular situation here as well. So, but that's all I've read so far. I'm quite excited about maybe looking at, you know, because we've always done NLVs. That's been our main product, service products, and we're going to continue to do so. But I'm quite excited maybe about looking at other avenues, which just weren't really possible before, you know. And I think, going 2025 and then 2026, I think this is very positive. Maybe there could be other avenues people could research.
So it's all very, very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And presumably we'll start in the new year with talking about the NLV.
Yeah. Another positive thing which has happened, which has just come to my mind now, which I reminded, which was the other side with the car type thing, the cars, is slightly changing the subject, but historic vehicles in Spain, right? They've made that process easier now. We're right at the beginning of it. We've got our first one going through because I completely 2 years ago gave up doing historic vehicles. I said, that's it. I cannot deal with the government's industry department because it's like trying to provide a service with like being a mechanic and not being able to get wheels for the car. You can't get the piece of paper. And they were just a nightmare. And there was this stage where you had to get all the documents ready, send it to the government. The government would sign it off and send it back to you. That could take 6 months to a year, at which time, you can't get provisional plates. Nightmare. So we decided it was a good idea just not to provide that service because we couldn't guarantee it. That part of sending the paperwork to the government and then them sending it back to then go to the ITV has now been taken away. You literally go straight to the ITV with the paperwork from the historic laboratory, which is fantastic.
Brilliant.
So far, so good. We had one pass in the ITV. We've got another one going through. We're sort of experimenting with people who are like waiting around going, I've got a car in the garage, I'm not too bothered. We're going forward with a couple, so I'll give you some updates on that next year.
Brilliant. Oh, I look forward to that. So, and what do they call a historic car? Is that over 20 years?
It's 30 now. 30 years, yeah. So it was 25, like 30. Yeah, they've updated it. So
I just saw something on, I think it was on Facebook, like a little news item. It was advertising that the Ford Escort Mark 1, they'd just made, they've just kind of reissued the Mark 1. And it looks like a sports car. They've obviously made it with all modern wheels and brakes, because that was my first car. I had an M-Reg back in the day. And the brakes weren't brilliant, and it was very, very old. But this one looks like a souped up RS 2000 kind of thing, but with the old shape of the Mark 1 Ford Escort, which I used to love.
Wow, I had a Mark 3. Mine was the Mark 3 was the square one.
Yeah, I think I had one of them as well afterwards.
Yeah, that's my first car. There's one driving around. I'm going to take a photo to show you. There's a gold one, same engine, 1.3L, driving around Ciaran as a daily drive.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's an 83. We got the information. It was an 8, and I keep missing the guy. I'm going to be like that weirdo stalker. I keep trying to find him and going like, can I just look in your car? Can I sit in it?
It'd be lovely. Yes, and the difference between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 and the Mark 3, they were very, very different shapes. And then I had a Mark 4 Ford Cortina after that with a metallic blue, shiny, sparkly, silvery sort of body and a vinyl roof as well. It's a fantastic car. And I took it on the M69 from Leicester to Coventry, and I thought I'd give it a trial. I'd put my foot down. Actually, I was doing 100 miles an hour, and somebody in the car with me said, "What's that smoke coming out the back?" It was complete black smoke. I messed up the engine completely. I had to get the engine removed and at the scrapyard, and they put a 1.6 into it instead of a 2-litre. But
you wouldn't get away with that.
So I think that's the only car I've ever had.
Historic here in Spain. You can't change the engine size, I can tell you that.
No, that was mad. It was the only one that was available from the scrapyard. I didn't want to pay, the thousands that a brand new one would have cost at the time, because the car wasn't worth it. But that was a good car as well, really smooth. Anyway, that's enough about cars. That's enough about these topics as well. What's everybody saying in here? Ant says Irish. Oh, that's what you are, of course. Yes, you are Irish. And John Carrington says you probably know that the 3 years illegally in Spain after which one can apply for residence status by Araigo has been reduced to 2 years.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, bless you.
The Araigo platforms are really exciting. See what. Let's see how they interpret them. But yeah, the Araigo platforms are quite good. Not encouraging people to come here illegally and then apply, but it could be help for people who are in irregular situations.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, and Kes said we had a Mark 1 as well. Brakes came as an extra. Yeah. Paul Cook says I've got an old Ciaran Diane that came with the house, but I have no documents. I wonder if it'll ever be possible to do anything with it. I like the Ciaran Diane. Is that the one that dips down at the back and you can let down the suspension?
If it's on the Spanish reg, and you can prove ownership, i.e. you got it in with a house, you might be able to do something with it. Now, they will, a historic vehicle, as long as you can prove ownership, you don't have to have the original paperwork.
Okay, and you don't have to have the signature of the person that's sold it to you on a document or something.
This is where it comes to, again, it's in the interpretation of the person at the DGT. You can get all the paperwork done, get it through the ITV. They don't ask for proof of ownership. It comes at the final registration. So the final registration, what they may do is they may look at, if it was already originally registered in Spain, they'd look at the VIN number to see who was the original owner, and et cetera, et cetera. And if you can prove that it came part of a house, that you might be able to get away with not having, you're not going to have the original signature of the person, or go to notary, make a declaration. Really depends on the individual circumstance, but yeah, essentially you can, without paperwork, register a historic vehicle.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So jolly good. So that's the end of our main feature for this week. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. Smash it into smithereens, my smashing friends, especially if you've got some information that you need from today's topic, or you're having fun equally. And also, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's donated to my GoFundMe page this year. It's really made a massive difference, and I'm humbled by your support. I'm still not able to go out and do gigs and perform for everyone, much as I really want to, and I don't quite know how long it's going to be before I can. I'm taking each day as it comes, though. So the QR code, I normally put the QR code up there in the corner, but I've got the instead today. I could change it, but you can access the GoFundMe through the SuperLink in the video description below if you want to donate through that. It's more or less the same kind of thing anyway. Just one other important piece of information for you before we continue, all about the currency exchange rates, because the UK pound at the moment against the euro is at its highest rate, I think, since 2016. Wow. When there was the massive drop because of the Brexit referendum, which means if it's a really, really good time to buy a house or move to Spain and get the most out of your money. So if you're planning to move in the fairly near future, or buy a house in the fairly near future, it's a good time to what's called fix a forward rate of exchange. So you basically fix the exchange rate now, and you do the deal, but you don't pay out all the money. You just kind of give a deposit if you know what money you've got and the money that you're going to have when you move. So even if you've not sold your house, for example, as the way to finance your move, you can still set a rate up, and you don't have to take my word for this. I'm not the expert, but you can advice with no obligation from our friends at Smart Currency Exchange. There is a link in the video description below for you to use, and if you do that, you get your own personal broker who's an expert on buying property, actually, and also on avoiding bank charges and guaranteeing that you get the best and the safest deal. Give them a try. They're very lovely and helpful. Costs you nothing to get that account. And by using the link below, you'll actually be helping YouTooSpain as well at no extra cost to you. It's a win-win-win with a cherry on top. Where does it say that? Just right there. I haven't said that today. That's unusual. So, okay. Normally I'd go at this point, it's time to ask us anything. But you've been asking us anything in the live chat anyway, and we've gone through all of the questions. Oh, let's see. Paul Cook's saying it was the vendor's father's car. Oh, well, that might be handy. So the person that sold the house.
You've got contact there then. That's great.
Yeah, and his brother still has the house next door. Yes. Yeah, so that's bound to help. There we go. And Brian in Brisbane has very kindly given us 5 Australian dollars. Thank you so much for those. And, oh, Mad David, he's late to the party. had a Christmas do last night.
Oh.
There you go. So you're a bit hungover. But welcome anyway. You're always welcome, David. So there you go. Feel free to ask any more questions, because you can ask us anything, and continue to do that. So what we'll do is, while Chris is getting rid of his cough, we'll before we chat about celebrating Christmas in Spain, it's time for a quick halftime reminder of all of the wonderful services available to you as a YouTooSpain follower. And while you're watching that, take a moment to subscribe and click on the bell. It's very easy and costs you nothing. It's a win-win-win with a cherry on top. Okay, lads, take it away. Are you getting the most out of YouTooSpain? Yes, no, I don't know. Did you know that apart from these Saturday morning live shows with expert guests, or expats with really exciting stories to tell, it's not the bloody Graham Norton show. There are videos every Wednesday evening, packed with all the information you need, so we can move to Spain and enjoy living here. Without paying tax? No, Colonel, that's illegal. Naughty boy. Bah! You can find out how to navigate the bureaucracy successfully. How do I find the videos, darling? Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. And click on the bell, you useless cunt. Colonel, there's also a gorgeous YouTooSpain website full of articles, links and everything you need. YouTooSpain.com. And if you want to say thank you to YouTooSpain for all of the valuable information, or if you've been entertained, you can support Skatz with a donation. He looks like he needs a support. The poor bugger can't even stand up. If he was a horse, I'd shoot him. Colonel! The Colonel's not a very nice man. It's all right. He's just a two-dimensional stereotype. Aren't we all, sweetie? I'm not. Brexit! And how do I support YouTooSpain? Use the QR code in the corner! Or you can find it in the SuperLink in the video description below. Where? In the video description, you bloody idiot. I've warned you, Colonel. I'll send you back to the nunnery. There! It's below the video title. Down there. It says, read more. That's right. Just click or tap on that and lots more text appears. There's so much more down below. And don't forget the Facebook page and the YouTooSpain community group, darling, where you can talk to other people just like you. Oh, there's no one like me, sweetie. Thank goodness. Is that everything? There's a guest waiting to tell me things. Oh, I do like things. Where's Doogie Dog? I'm stuck behind a wall. Oh, sorry, Doogie. Follow my voice. Thank you, Master. Get back to the show. I need to go and punch some servants. Oh, Colonel. Back to Skatz in the studio. Thank you very much, lads. That was very informative, as usual. So let's move on very quickly to the final part of the show. Normally Chris and I have an argument about something, but it's Christmas, so we're just going to have fun with this and compare a Spanish Christmas with a British Christmas, or an Irish one, or however you celebrate where you are. So tell us in the chat and in the comments how you celebrate Christmas, if you've got any special traditions and things like that. So Chris, you've lived in Spain for decades now, and how Spanish is your Christmas?
I celebrate, but funny enough, we're just discussing last night when we're going to start, because on the beginning, I think it's the 3rd of April, I've got to check the date, I celebrate 25 years since I moved.
Oh, brilliant.
So I'm sure I could get some content out of that.
Yes, indeed.
We celebrate a very Spanglish Christmas. So the Spanish generally have the 24th evening as their big family meal. Mm-hmm. So Noche Buena, rather, which is quite strange, because a lot of people like this year is actually a work day up to midday. So a lot of people actually work till midday. Historically, then the men may go and meet and have a beer, and the ladies and the kids at home. Now that doesn't happen now. It sounds very sexist now, but I'm just telling you historically that's how it was here in Spain. Mm-hmm. And now all the families would get together. It's not really a friends thing, you know. Just meet your friends from like 12. Once you finish work till 3, a few beers, and then go home. And it's the family then at home. And then the 25th it's a day where people would go out then and meet other people. That's like the Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then quite often the 26th is then a work day. It's not a bank holiday or anything here.
Okay.
As it falls this year as well, we've actually got appointments on the 26th.
Wow. So you're actually back in work?
Well, no, we're closed, but there was some appointment. We're closing for that week between because it's just need to have a rest. But we did manage to grab some. Unfortunately, if you can grab them, you've got to get them. So there's actually some appointments happening, and we'll be on hand for that. But the office will be closed. I'll be on hand if I'm at home for if needed, and obviously will be looked after. But yeah, so it's a work day, and then in terms of the way we celebrate it this year, we'll be having Christmas dinner on the 24th in the evening. So, and then obviously wake up in the morning. Santa's obviously comes, which is our kids have 2 loads of presents. We have Santa and the Kings. And then once Santa's been and we're out of our Christmas pajamas, we're going out. That's it. Christmas Day. We normally either have fish or steak, depending on which restaurant we fancy going to. And this year we're going local to the steakhouse. So,
wow. So that's a bit of a combination then. So it's like very British, having your presents on Christmas morning. Do many Spanish people do that as well?
It's becoming more popular. Initially, no. It was literally, so Spanish is Christmas. The gift giving is for the kings. It always has been for the kings.
And that's the 6th of January.
Yeah, so it's the 6th of January. Well, 6th January, it's the 5th. It's the 5th actually. The fifth evening, the kings come and then you open them on the 6th. So it's traditionally that's always been the Spanish thing, but like a bit like Halloween, Christmas is creeping into society here, and so is Father Christmas. And then there'll be gifts, but it'd be nothing on the level that we would know traditionally in the UK as Christmas Day. Definitely not. Father Christmas does come now, but not as much as we would know it. The main gift giving day is the Kings, but yeah, it's becoming more and more and more relevant here.
Do you have Santas on motorbikes and bikes and things like that driving around? We have a big parade that goes right the way around the town and out to the next village, and they parade. They're all dressed as Santas.
We have here. I mean, the town really goes. I really like our mayor because he does go overboard a bit, and he waffles on, which I can relate to. So, we have like a big thing where you can go and see Santa and stuff like that. And he kept it up through COVID as well, and kept it very controlled. It's not the children's fault that COVID's hit, and I give him a lot of respect for the way that he didn't completely wipe out Christmas. He said, look, it's not the kids' fault. And they had a very controlled, neat Santa environment during that period as well. So we're quite lucky with our lives. We don't have Santas on motorbikes, not that I've seen anyway.
Breaky up again there. Hope it's all working. This used to happen back in Ireland when I was broadcasting. We used to have, when you got close to the hour, there used to be a period of 5 minutes when we had sound problems. But I hope that's not going to start happening again. Anyway, let's just read some of these live chat messages. Des Longhurst says, morning guys, enjoying the show. Just want to send a big thank you to you both. Skatz for all the information to help our move to Spain in 2025, and Chris for guiding Claire and I to our BLS appointment. You're very welcome.
Nice. And you wait now, but relax over Christmas now. It's all out of your hands now.
Yeah. Kevin Elford says, hi Skatz, wishing you and Chris a very happy Christmas. Big thank you to Chris and Upsticks for helping us with our visa application. The guidance was invaluable. Best wishes to all, Kev and Tracy. That's lovely. And
Kevin, have a good first Christmas, Kevin.
Brilliant. Yes, have a marvellous one. And tell us how you're celebrating. And Kev the Argonaut is back again. Managed a quick pop in to hit the like button whilst at the Christmas fair with a 2 and a 4-year-old with colds. Oh dear, bless you. Merry Christmas all and a happy, healthy and prosperous new year. Oh, thanks, Kev, for dropping in, because you did send me a message saying that you weren't going to be able to. But so thank you for making the effort. And Mad David says, we're breaking tradition this year and going for a curry Christmas Day at our local Indian restaurant. Well, yes, why not?
Yeah.
I'd say that'd be quite a Spanish thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, with the food is sort of weird. So we're like, let's get Spanglish again. We're going to have a Christmas dinner on the 24th. But Spanish normally wouldn't have like a big roast. You know, they have separate plates, and it's quite often they'll have fish. You know, or that's when the quality, the whole. For those of you who know the supermarket Lidl's, that whole deluxe range that they have around this time of the year, focused on that period of time, the 24th, because everybody gets something different. You know, so it's that time. Traditionally, now we live in a very, you know, the society now where everybody gets what they want when they want it. But traditionally, you know, it would be, you know, even if you had to eat slightly cheaper foods all the way up to Christmas would be the day that all that money you've saved, you go buy the lobster and, Christmas Noche Buena, the 24th, and take that round to the family. Yeah, so that would be where you would take the good food, you know. So that's where you see like the deluxe ranges coming from the supermarkets. That's focused on getting that to take it for that night, though. You know, most people now use it whenever, but that's what that's all about.
Ah, brilliant. So that's why when I asked what food do you normally eat, because I said, are you having fish or something? What food have you got? And he said, everything. he said, and most of it's got sugar in it, and I can't have it because I'm diabetic. So bless him, he's got to sit and watch while everybody devours everything sweet around him. So, yeah, bless. I'm sure he has some good savoury stuff anyway. So if everybody brings something different, is it all cooked, all separate? Everybody has a different dish, or is it all the sweet stuff?
No, I mean, generally you'll have your main meal, which is just like a huge tapas party, really, because you might have a big lump of meat, and you might have some fish, you might have things that, you know, you'd just be picking from it. It's not particularly. The biggest difference is that we would generally have a sit-down meal, wouldn't we? Where it's like, there's the plate, it's everybody got your roasties, it's one plate of food. Where in the Spanish 24th, the Noche Buena, it would probably be various plates where everybody dips into. So that's probably the different types of food as well. So yeah, that's the biggest difference, I would say, be that. And then the members of the family go around and take the different various plates or whatever it is that they've done to whatever house, or they'll take it and cook it in that house. You know, and it's a lovely tradition. You know, we've luckily been invited to a couple of Noche Buenas, and you know, when we were younger, when we lived in Granada and stuff, and everybody would then bring their own bottle. It would be the time when somebody probably brings something a bit special as well. You know, there'd be banter between families, who's bought the best bottle of wine, maybe, you know, and stuff like that. It's very probably a lot more fun, and we'll say a lot more fun than having a sit down meal, but we would probably focus more on having that, you know, getting up and
massive plate.
yeah. Which is lovely as well. I mean, a traditional, there's nothing better than getting up on the 25th, opening presents and having a glass of wine at 10:30 to start making dinner, you know. But it's a different way of doing things. That
was it. Yeah, we always one of our traditions used to be back in Leicester in England was we'd make our own Bucks Fizz. So we'd buy one bottle of champagne and a bottle of orange juice, and so we'd start while either during or just after we'd opened the stockings.
Yeah.
And we always used to have kind of two little present openings. It was the stockings first, and then the presents from underneath the tree, because the stocking fillers were all of the tiny little, really silly toys and gifts and, you know, puzzles and things like that. That most of the stuff that were thrown away, you know, within a week of Christmas Day. And then the main presents would be afterwards. Usually I'd go for a shower and a freshen up after because we'd all be in dressing gowns for the first bit. So yeah, they're all really nice traditions, and we'd have the fire on, and so yeah, that would all be very cozy. Christmas. We've got Oscar and one of my daughters arriving in January, so not until after King's Day. So we're actually going to have, I think, on the 12th of January, if that's the Sunday, we're going to have another Christmas Day. We're going to call it something else, but it's going to be just like another Christmas Day. So that's going to be it'll be a bit strange, I think, but it'll be just a party with a slightly different theme. Yeah.
That's cool, but it's probably be nice with the year you've had just to be the two of you, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, and we do like being cozy underneath duvets on the settee and blankets, and with the dogs curled up there as well, and just watching Christmas movies, watching the Christmas TV, because we've managed to get the BBC, so and usually they've got all the best stuff that we want to watch, including Strictly Come Dancing.
As I get older, I'm getting more and more like that, to be honest with you. Yesterday we did that. Lara's like, oh, Friday, should we just grab something to eat out? And everybody, even the kids, were like, should we just go home, put a fire on and put a movie on? I said, oh yeah, go on in. And which problem is then is after about 9:45, I'm like this.
Yeah, that is the problem. I'm tending to do that in the middle of the afternoon now, so which is quite a Spanish thing. Yeah. I usually time myself out, like making the video yesterday for the Still Alive. Completely tired myself out and didn't realise so much until I got back into the house and sat down, and we said, right, let's watch something exciting. And 5 minutes in, I was
yeah.
So
I was yesterday. I was fall asleep at that time at 4 o'clock. I'm wide awake. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I need to stay up.
Yes, indeed. How many comments have we got coming in now? That was Mad David. Tim Hawkins says, hi guys, wishing you a great Christmas and amazing New Year, and so many thanks for your videos and advice. Both of you have made this journey easier and more fun. From Kathy and Tim. You're very welcome.
It's a successful year this year, Kathy and Tim. That's nice.
Brilliant. And Barry Scandal says, Kia Royale is our Christmas morning tipple. I'm not even sure what that is. But at the time of year when people buy the most unusual drinks, I can't remember what the strangest ones used to be. I think they were invented in the 70s and the 80s, and you'd only ever buy them at Christmas, and then they'd just go back in the cupboard, and they just tasted very strange. Creme de cassis and champagne. I remember creme de cassis. That is lovely. That's very sweet. And what's the Bailey's usually, or just there's one that they just call it Irish cream, which is the kind of non-branded version, but that's just as good, and it's about half the price. So
yeah,
and that's lovely. And you've got to put it on ice.
Yeah. It's when all the we generally I think we used to have quite a few things in, but now generally we reduced that really because we're not getting anybody coming around. And I think as you get older, you realise you drink 4 different varieties of alcohol in the morning, you feel quite sick in the afternoon. So I just stick to what you know, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll wait until my dinner until I can. We'll have that bottle of red, actually, the Italian red, thanks to Anton Cares.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to have with mine.
I haven't told Lara actually. I haven't took it home yet, but I might.
There you go. Just keep it for the office. You can down it while you're on the phone.
It's funny when the cool day after my arm break, and I was on all the meds that they give you, and was missing 3 call notes, and Jane had to phone 2 people back and go, how was your call with Chris? And they're like, oh yeah, it's brilliant, yeah, it was great. And I'm going, not that I can't remember it, but I must have been in work mode. We were talking, everything's cool, and but I was definitely fuzzy. I can tell you the week afterwards, and I don't think it's a drink, but
yes, was it tramadol or something like that? That's what
I got sick on that, didn't I? The other week.
You did, yeah. That's all.
That was, be very careful what they give you, because I've been taking paracetamol and everything, and I've sacked it all off, and then just had last week when I spoke to you, and I was like, I had to get to the doctor and just say, you got something a bit stronger just for the you know, just to get through the week. And I had that one tramadol, and that's just
you don't do well on that at all. No, they gave me
paracetamol.
They gave me that drug that you're not supposed to give Northern Europeans. Was it Novotil, something like that?
Novotil or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that did me in at hospital. They gave me it on a drip, and I started wheezing, and then I felt sick, and then threw up into a bag on the bed. Good. And coughing just after you've had an operation in your stomach area. Not good. So there was even more pain. That's what that caused. And then they had to get another drip with some steroids in it, just to get rid of the wheezing and to get rid of the effects of the Nolotil. So there you go. That wasn't fun.
No, you've got to be careful. I mean, they gave it to me on the phone. I phoned up and said to the doctor, and the doctor said to me, "Shall I give you tramadol?" I'm like, "I don't know. Should you?" Okay, I'll try it. And then and it was terrible, and it comes the next day. So I had it at night time, and then it was about 10 o'clock the next day. Lara said, "Oh, you're sweating," and I was at work. I was at work, and oh dear, it was awful. It was. They've gone in the bin. Put it that way.
Yeah, that is one of the side effects. It increases your heart rate. You'd think it would reduce your heart rate, and that's what it's supposed to do. It, and takes the pain and all of that kind of good stuff. But it can increase your heart rate, and it can make you feel nauseous. And yeah, it's the opposite thing you need. Oh, thanks, Chris. Given a lovely, lovely donation there. Thank you, Skatz, for all your work this year under difficult circumstances. Much appreciated. You're very welcome. Wishing you and all a healthy and prosperous new year. And there you go. And I think on that note, as it's past 11, I don't want to go on for too long. Even well, I could go on all day, although I probably couldn't now because I'm going to collapse on the settee in a bit. But I hope you've all enjoyed the show. I have. Mad David says I'm taking 6 tramadol a day at the moment. Good Lord, how on earth do you manage that?
You could have asked for mine. I would have given. I don't think I'm allowed to post it. You could have. I threw it in the bin. Yeah,
no, you're not allowed to post it. Really, you're not even allowed to take it through customs. I don't think. But I've taken stuff in my bag through customs before, and they've never challenged me. But there you go. So we'll leave it at that for this week and for this year. It's been a fantastic year, and thanks so much, Chris, for being with us and imparting your knowledge for the whole year.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. And we will continue on. I think it's January the 4th is the first show of the year, so we'll get that one sorted out, and I guess we'll do non-lucrative visa. What the new laws say. There's probably quite a bit. We can probably split it into sections, can't we?
Yeah.
There'll be individual bits. We'll talk about that in the meantime.
Yeah.
So have a brilliant Christmas. I'm going to see you before Christmas anyway. There's another hospital visits to come. Yay! We love it. And Ant and Kez are off to the Christmas works lunch. Have a good break, one and all. Did you have your Christmas do this year?
No, sadly we decided with at the time I wasn't quite up for it with my arm at the time, and obviously you're not particularly that well. Jane came down with a huge flu.
No.
And everybody else is. I spoke to everybody, like Jose would normally be there, and the Evans and stuff, and everybody. Antonio couldn't make it down, so we just basically said, look, you know what? Let's make it in the new year when everybody's feeling a bit better. So I didn't want to put any unnecessary pressure on people just to meet up if we didn't have to. So it's been postponed this year, I'm afraid.
Never mind. Yes. So January is going to be the new Christmas.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So everybody give Chris a massive virtual hug and a kiss and a Merry Christmas. And so we'll say goodbye for now. Thank you once again. Lovely. So normally I say, who have we got on the show next week? But of course we haven't. But January is going to be a great month for guests. And apart from Chris, of course, there's some lovely guests in the new year. But I'll announce that in the new year on our social media channels. And in the meantime, you can, of course, ask any questions in advance on our Facebook group if you want, or the Facebook page, or just wait and ask live on the chat in January. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on this extra special show and leaving comments. And Kev the Argonaut says, it's Christmas! A bit of Slade there to see you off. And Niall Keenan has given a donation as well. Thank you so much for all of these. It warms the cockles of my heart. And thanks both from Paul Cook. See you in the new year. My David says, take care, guys. Have a good one. Feliz Navidad. And Anton Kez, you've managed to get your emojis working. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Congratulations. And everybody have a brilliant Christmas and a happy new year. And I'll see you either on the midweek videos or live on Saturday mornings in January at our regular time of 9 Ireland or Portugal, or 10 o'clock if you're in Spain or Central Europe. And that's all for now. Someone pass around the pigs in blankets. Peace and love to you all, peas and fluff. And here is one final message from all of the voices in my head here at YouTooSpain. Where are they now? There's a button down here for me to press. I found it. Bye-bye for now. Wave goodbye, lads. Bye.
Goodbye. Toodaloo.
Peace and love.
Peas and fluff.
Oi, oi.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
One more cosmic dance?
All right then. Look, Mum, I'm dancing. Oh, I'm all a quiver.
Let's dance.